Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Firepower Podcast. This is a podcast about the Firepower comic book series by Robert Kirkman, Chris Samnee, Matt Wilson, and Russ Wooten. I'm your host, Bashar, and I'm joined by my friends and my fellow co-hosts, Charlie and Addy. How are you guys today?
I'm doing well today. Dove into this issue kind of a little late. Normally, I dive into these a couple days before we record. This so happens, but dove into it today and totally forgot how badass this issue is. So yeah, just super excited to get into this, and yeah, just gearing closer to getting that current firepower back. So yeah, we're kind of gearing up for that, and yeah, getting into it. How are you doing, Ali?
I'm doing great. Been looking forward to this issue. It's probably one of the most anticipated ones for me. Everything, comes together. The myths become reality. So I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, I remember the speculation that happened before this issue, like not in terms of like value or anything like that, but just in terms of like what's going to happen in this issue. And it starts out like a wrestling match, like on one end we've got Master Shaw.
Yeah, it actually kind of does. Oh, that's hilarious. You're right, right away the transition, like which they talked about this in the RC Coda, but yeah, just this gear up and right away like it's just set up, and yeah, this is just such a badass fight. Like there's been so many cool fights in this series, but yeah, this definitely takes the cake for me so far.
Yeah, I think this is like top three for me issues of the entire series so far.
Agreed. Definitely.
Yeah.
Wait,
you mean even the stuff after this?
Yeah, even the stuff after this. I'm not counting the OGN because like it's
Okay.
unfair because it's like so long. Yeah, but like just like out of the 24 issues that have released, I think this is top three for sure for me.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with that.
Anyway, so previously, the Serpent's Omen returned for Haley and became very clear that even with the firepower, she's no longer safe at home. Meanwhile, the Scorched Earth clan, now entirely under the control of the Serpents, arrived at the Temple of the Flaming Fist. When Owen, Kelly, and Ling Zan joined the battle, they quickly realized that things were more dire than ever before. As the temple fell to the Serpent's control, Master Shaw finally awoke from his statue, proving the legends were true. So, I remember like when this issue actually came out, like I was messaging Ali, like because we all like this book, and I think it's funny because someone in the Discord, in the Reading Black Discord, because we host a podcast for that, so check that out if you're interested. And if you don't know what Reading Black is, check it out. It's another Image Comics comic book that I guarantee you'll enjoy. But the thing is, someone was mentioning how they recently started reading Firepower after having known about it for a while, but like they haven't really seen many people talk about it on Discord. And I thought like to myself, like I can guarantee I've gotten like at least 30 people to read this book, like at least. And so like I've gone through the message history, and it's just like it's just me recommending the book to so many different people. So yeah, I mean, Firepower, couldn't recommend it enough. Fantastic stuff. And the whole story coming back to, we were always wondering, like, is this dude actually going to appear? Because if you're reading this book, you know that they faked him out 2 times. They faked, or maybe 3. They faked him out the first time during the graphic novel, where they kind of give you the sense that he may come to life, but you obviously, you later you realize it's for much later. And then we're obviously talking full spoilers here. The second fake out is later on when Chow Fang turns towards him around issue 12, and he's just like, we need you now, and nothing happens. And then now finally we have Master Shaw coming to life. So I remember talking to Ali when we read issue 16, and I was like, before issue 16 came out, I was like, do you think he's finally gonna show up? And then by the end of issue 16, he's there. So yeah, this is like all just to say that this is huge. This was really big. This was like, I can't explain to you like how big this was, because this dude is really terrifying. And it feels that way. It feels like the Thanos build up, the Thanos build up.
Not to cut you off real quick, but just to put it in perspective, this is issue 16, right?
17.
They've been teasing this 17. They've been teasing this for a year and a half, a year and like 8 months at this point, maybe a little bit more because they went on hiatus for a little bit. So, like in terms of real time reading it month to month, we were waiting a long time for this. So yeah. I definitely agree with the Thanos comparison.
Yeah, this dude's like insanely overpowered, and we're gonna see that in this issue.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah, and we'll talk about it later too. But just the way he's drawn throughout this issue, like he's very like sketched over sometime, like a lot of like silhouettes. Like he definitely looks more like godly than the rest of the other characters. So yeah, just seeing kind of him in action and like just getting this upgrade right away, all these
Yeah.
snakes just crawling around him and kind of giving him this snake armor. Like this was so badass. This was, yeah,
I
awesome.
never really like thought about what he was until like I just realized like yeah like he says here, I see some of you don't recognize the living God when one stands before you. And then later on in the issue he refers to like he asks a question to one of his followers about like what time it is and whether like technology or something is even working or something like that. So it's like this dude's clearly been alive for a long time. So that begs the question, like, yeah, is he human? Is he a god? He definitely seems to have some godlike powers because he's controlling the serpents at his command, and he's literally just like launching them at people.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I never really I never actually really thought too hard about that, to be honest. I just kind of assumed he got trapped in the stone, and it kind of just like I guess we don't. I don't know. We don't know like at this point like actually how he got trapped in the stone. So that's
Yeah,
also kind of a yeah cool thing to think about too. But yeah, no, it's just yeah definitely a cool moment too. And the page like reveals like I love like when it shows the snake armor. He's like standing there almost like as the statue, but like you just see kind of the rubble just
Yeah.
like fall like that just fell off and is kind of under him. It's just yeah so sweet.
very symbiotic armor. Like reminds me of
Yes.
Null in King
Yeah.
of Black. You know, like
Yeah, no, it actually, yeah, it kind of has that pattern too across the chest. No, that's yeah, no, that's true, and
I mean, if
and
Null is the king of symbiotes, this guy's the king of snakes. So
he is the serpents will, the serpents
yep.
will. Yeah, no, this is
But I was wondering, like, obviously, when he got resurrected, I was thinking there's either one or two things that are going to happen, and we'll get to that later on because I don't want to spoil the you know the one of the big things. But we're thinking like either he's going to kill everyone or he has some sort of plan, and we're going to see what that is. But I love the look. I just want to give full props. Of course, I think this every issue just showcases how good Chris Samnee is, and that goes without saying. But I think this issue really showcases, in particular, how good Matt Wilson is because of the different hues. There's a lot of fires, lots of explosions. There's just a lot going on, and there's some pages where we contrast the colors because we're looking at different contexts or situations. But I just want to really give credit to the look on Wei Lun's face right there. Like that's just perfect. It really is fantastic. It's very like skillful. He looks like the perfect amount of perplexed. They both do, and I really love that panel when they're looking up at uh, at Master Shaw as he, of course, kills Chao Fang.
I love what he says too. Is like when a battle appears that it cannot be won, one must like sit back and observe. That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's truly
He
like,
knows
he
they're
has no
fucked. He
idea
know.
what to
Oh
do.
yeah. He knows like just how powerful this guy is, or is that definitely afraid of him for sure. But yeah, no, I loved this was like definitely one of my favorite scenes in this whole issue was Xiao Fang like actually taking like getting the snake off of him, but just showing still like how much still like he's like still bowing down to Master Shaw. Like the snake kind of controlled him, but like it had no influence on like who he was kind of working for and stuff. So yeah, I just really love that. And then yeah, just brutal. Just shoves a snake down his throat, and yeah, definitely not a pleasant scene at all.
Yeah, I love how kinetic these action scenes are. Honestly, the way he like leaps up into the air and launches the snakes, it just reminds me of a lot of like childhood days watching Samurai Jack. It just really feels like that. So it's a really cool, like just to channel that inner feeling. A little bit of nostalgia there. The composition of the panels is also amazing. You get to really appreciate the fights from like a lot of different perspectives and scenes. Um, one in particular, and one thing Chris Samnee does so well in these issues is that the thing is with these compositions where he's giving you different looks at the fights not only from one individual perspective, from different group perspectives, is that you get to have a better sense of the scale of the battle. So there's stakes, there's everything going
Yeah,
on. You really get to see like this is a big epic battle, right? Because you're seeing everybody there. It really reminds me of like reading something like a Marvel event comic book in their back when Bendis was writing them, where you get to see these like big epic battles where you really get to feel like, wow, this is really cool. And it feels that way here. And there's some pages that I linked earlier when we were talking before recording, which we'll get to, and those are like mic drop pages, like jaw dropping pages. So this really is a fantastic issue. Credits to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that like just that whole page, like he's just so good. Like he does not waste any space, like in those panels. Like even in the backgrounds on some of those, like all the silhouettes and stuff fighting in the background. Like it really just shows how many people are in this battle here, and yeah, really shows later in this legendary double page spread we will see later. But yeah, no, just really really cool stuff. Love seeing Owen burn up a snake, and like just seeing Wei Lun. Also, that I thought that was cool. Like what he gets bit by a snake during this fight, and it kind of looks to me like in the next page he's almost kind of fighting it off in a way. Like he doesn't look rageful yet. He has the green eyes, but he still kind of looks like he's maybe trying to fight it off, or that's the way I took it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I say this out of pure joy, and I think Radiant Black readers and fans of that will appreciate this. But that panel with Owen just burning up the snake in his fist,
Yeah.
the giant fist, remind me of like Radiant Red. So I
Yeah.
love that, like a cool little throwback there. But I also love the intensity of that scene. And we were talking earlier about Matt Wilson's strengths as a colorist, like of course an incredible colorist, Eisner Award winning recently, and that includes work on this series. And when you look at the contrast between these two panels side by side, where Owen catches the snake and then burns it up, like you've got completely different color palettes, but yeah, both equally appropriate for the respective scenes. So I really love everything going on here. Everyone's like firing on all cylinders when it comes to this issue, and I almost wonder that you get the sense that the creators are also excited to get to this point of the story because there's some big moments, obviously.
100%. You could tell that they've, just as much as we've been looking forward to this one, they've been looking forward to it too.
What did you guys think? Like, I this moment where Ling Zan throws herself at Kelly,
That
I
was
thought it was
awesome.
really awesome. I think it shows her character because I think at that moment, or maybe I'm projecting, but it shows that like she cares about Owen so much that she'd rather like throw herself like that. Like she could have let Kelly, get stung there by the serpent or get bit by the serpent and then get converted into a follower temporarily or maybe permanently. But she risked herself, and I think that shows that ultimately she cares about Owen's happiness.
Yeah.
It's a little more too because she knows them now, right? Like she's been to their house, she's met their kids. She knows that if Kelly's gone, it's not just going to affect Owen. There's a family there, and peanut butter. Don't forget about peanut butter.
Yeah.
There's more to it than just the two of them.
And I think I forget who, I think it was Bash that pointed this out earlier, kind of in the series, that because I was questioning like why is Ling Zan following Owen like at home and stuff, and I think she just genuinely wanted to make sure he was happy with his family, and he's living a good life. So I think now that she's seen that, she's kind of accepted that, okay, she has to let him go kind of to be happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I don't know, personally I died when when the snake bites Ling Zan, she's choking her, and Owen just comes out of nowhere and fucking absolutely rips her right in the chest. I was just dying. Like
Yeah.
that was an awesome save
So
by
if
Owen.
Kelly had any doubts before then,
Oh,
they should be
yeah.
gone by now.
Yeah.
Bro, like he's a straight Rey
Was that
Mysterio.
necessary? Like, I know she was infected, but like, he have like, I don't know, taken her down a little more easy?
Bro,
I don't know, maybe not.
I
But
guess it shows you when it comes to Kelly, bro. There's no stops, bro.
yeah,
He's going all out. But I really love this next moment where they like side or back to back, and she's with the gun and he's with the fireballs. I love the perspective as well. Like I said, Samnee really like he gets you to appreciate the fight from many different angles and perspectives, so you really get a sense of scale. And at that moment, it's like a classic, like a big fight closing in on you while you're back to back. So I really love that little panel. But in this next page, I think this next page is also like top 3 or top 5 pages of the entire series for me personally. Like you get this gorgeous, just indescribable double page spread of, it just looks like, it's hard to describe, but it's just like utter defeat sinking in for Kelly and
Despair,
Owen. Yep, as they see,
hopelessness.
yep, everyone around them. It's like that scene in Game of Thrones, and this is spoilers, so skip the next 10-15 seconds if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, where Jon Snow like sees everyone like resurrect, as the water pulls up
Right,
on
right after
it.
they spent
Yeah.
hours fighting them. Yeah.
But it's like they're not escaping though. They're like in it. So it's like kind of worse. So it's kind of like that moment, and then
Yeah,
you just see. I really want to give credit again to the placement of everything. You see, Master Shaw walking towards them. All serpent armor and everything, and it just looks terrifying. Like it's just like it looks like game over. You know what I mean? Like you're about, like in Elden Ring when you're right about to die. That's what this feels like. That's what this really feels like. So it's like this scared the shit out of me the first time I saw it. I was like, oh my god, someone's gonna die. And we all know Kirkman, right? Like we've talked about this. He loves to kill people. So I don't know about you guys, but I was concerned here.
I was concerned for Kelly. I didn't think Owen was gonna die, but I was definitely worried about Kelly, especially like after Ling Zan jumped her. I was feeling like, oh, maybe he's foreshadowing her death a little bit.
Could have been brutal. That could have been brutal.
But yeah, like just as them, like I did not see a way out of this because that's all their friends, all their allies, and let alone the legend, the myth, the god himself, Master Shaw. Like how the hell are they gonna get out of this?
Yeah, no, that's true. I definitely, yeah, you never know with Kirkman, so I didn't know what to expect in this one, but yeah, this scene for sure. Just Master Shaw. This is one of the most menacing pages I've seen in a long time.
When he laughs, the lettering by Russ
Fuck
Sweet
yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
You really get to like feel it come out of the page almost. Like I really want to like explain like why I love that lettering, because it's like you get these 3 panels. It's like you got this page, right? 4-panel page, right? 4-panel layout, and you've got 3 panels which look almost very similar, because it's just Master Shaw talking to someone for 2 panels, and then you see Owen and Kelly with their fists up, ready to die fighting. And then you just see him laugh out loud, and the panel color changes, and it's like the text is almost coming out of the panel to accentuate how hilarious that is to him. It's like ridiculous. It's so well done, you know what I mean? So I love that. Fantastic stuff by Russ Wooten. Fantastic. Also, again, layouts, close zoom in on the face. I love that. But this next page where you get the Owen channeling the fireball, and it's similar to one of the previous covers that we've had where he has in a similar pose around a bunch of zombie people, zombified serpent people. So I really, this page is awesome. Just look at Matt Wilson's colors on this page, man. Like just look at those colors, incredible.
I have a quick question for you guys. Why do you think he thought it was hilarious that it was Owen and not Kelly? Like, what would make?
Yeah, I thought about that too. I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like
I didn't get it. Owen is the one dressed as like the ninja, and I'm pretty sure he's shot the firepower earlier in the fight. So that part was a little bit confusing to me. But
I don't know. Maybe I'll say maybe he was watching them both fight, and Owen's or maybe Kelly's got the upper hand on the martial
He's
arts
not
and
impressed.
stuff. Owen's got the firepower. That's the only thing carrying him. He's just magic. But yeah.
Yeah, but bro, look at this.
No,
Look at this Darth Vader shit, bro. He just like show it to me. He just literally tells him to channel the fireball. He's like, all right, show me what you got. Come on, give it to me. All right.
Yeah, no, that was so good, and literally just, I guess he catches it. Like how would you guys take that? So he throws it at him, and when he says, "I think I've seen enough," he just catches his fireball and sends it back, or
I think he either catches it or deflects it.
I think
and then he puts some of his own energy into it too, because in the next page it's a little bit green.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
pyroblasted his ass.
That's some like Dragon Ball shit right here.
Oh, big time. Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. I was genuinely concerned. Like the first time, again, see, being someone who's read a lot of Kirkman books, the first time I was reading this issue and, you're flipping the pages, I'm like, oh, they're dead, right? And I'm going to turn the page and, like, the new main characters of the series are going to be Haley and Doug. Isn't it? Like, this is what he's doing?
He would do that. He would do that.
Like, is that what's happening here? You know what I mean? Like, is that what's happening? Because, right, we already had, like, teases of maybe Haley being able to channel some sort of firepower. And I'm like, is he going to kill Owen off? And is that going to be it? Like, thankfully, that was not the case. They're just cooked up right now like a bits of bacon. And they're surrounded by followers of the Serpent's Omen and Serpent's Will. But Owen does this really cool, desperate move where he tells Kelly to hit the dirt, and then he just throws a massive fireball, clears the path. That's some like rank 1 shit right there. And then that's next page. It's a horrific moment, right? Because we talked about this earlier. We're like, either Master Shell's just going to kill everybody, or he has a plan. Turns out he's doing both. So we finally noticed the plan, and this is what goes back to the joke that we've made throughout this podcast. And there's this theme lingering throughout the series of like there's this dragon, right? And in issue 12 we had teases, but we didn't really see anything, but we got some sort of hint. And now we finally get confirmation that there is in fact a dragon.
Yeah, and like you mentioned before, this was one of the pages you linked to us when it finally erupts. And in the past 2 issues, we didn't just get one reveal, we got 2. And they've been reveals that we've been waiting for a long, long time. And they couldn't have come any sooner. I just wish, I kind of get it that they didn't fully show the dragon here. But I guess we'll have to wait till next time to talk about that.
Yeah. I was totally expecting to see the dragon at the end, but no, it was a great kind of just cliffhanger though, because it's you know what's under there without actually seeing it, so it kind of even puts more anticipation into it. But yeah. No.
Plus, I think this issue really, like, I know we've talked about before how the series has like somewhat superhero elements in the sense that it's somewhat ridiculous because it's not like real. Is that people throwing fireballs out of their hands, people doing like crazy shit, but it's also not like absolute like full on superheroes where it's just like all kinds of superpowered people. At least not that we've seen. It's like somewhere in the middle, which is kind of cool, like a nice middle ground. But to see this like finally happen, this was like a big issue in the sense that like no, here's some Dragon Ball Z like level shit where it's like we have a god of serpents almost, and then we have like either his serpent or his dragon or whatever it is. We're assuming it's a dragon because they keep calling it a dragon, but it could be a serpent. But there's some big ass sort of creature, right? And it's coming out, and we're gonna visually see it next issue. But it's confirmed by the end of this issue that it's there because it blows up the entire mountain for the most part. But I just want to say this page where he like. You could make a lot of memes out of this page, I'm not gonna lie. Just looking at it. The explosion with him just having his hands out. I love that page. Like that is like if they ever make a firepower poster for Master Shaw, that would be an excellent contender. Yeah.
Definitely.
Fuck yeah. I'd definitely put that up on my wall. But yeah, no, it was definitely cool, and yeah, leads to another inevitable kind of reveal here. Like they get knocked over, all the rubble, the temple's basically completely destroyed at this point. This portal, what looks like a portal's been open, so everything's getting destroyed, and we get walking up the steps, kind of the same steps Owen came to the temple on. Very, very similar scene here, but kind of the 2 kids, Doug and Haley here, mom, dad, and they're here, ready for action. So what do you guys think of them being here at this point?
I was so mad. I was like, what the hell are these kids doing here? They could have been home safe with their grandparents, with their dog, eating 3 meals a day. Now they're stuck in a fucking like war zone with an eternal immortal dragon.
Like, literally couldn't be a worse moment.
Yeah, for real.
I agree. It's just like it's the worst because like you have the kids now, and we were talking about this this whole episode about how we think someone's gonna die, and now when this came out, I was like, oh shit, and I spent the rest of the whole wait between the next issue stressed out because I was like, who's Robert gonna kill this time? Because he's gonna kill someone. Right? Like, he's going to kill one of these fuckers. And then if you look at what was the cover for the next issue?
I was going to ask you guys about that. It's Wei Lun standing over, like, Owen's dead body with Kaylee.
Yeah, exactly.
With Kelly.
It's like a zombified and you see, like, everyone pass down in the snow, almost looking kind of dead. So I was just like, this was some evil shit that Kirkman did at the time. And because we were waiting the entire month and we had no idea who was going to die. And obviously... we're not going to spoil what happens. We'll get to that next episode as it comes out. But this was not an exciting time for us. This was very stressful. So Yeah. Look, the deal was no peanut butter, but I don't know, man. I love all of these characters, and I'm just gonna say I'm glad that we at least get them for one more issue.
And the thing is, he's doing this on purpose. Like Kirkman knows that his readers expect, deaths, and he's doing this so that cover was 100% meant as like a red herring or something.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly I didn't see too. I went through this RC Coda. It's always just enjoyable reading. I don't know if you guys saw anything worth pointing out. But yeah, I just loved especially like hearing about like Battober, Chris Samnee kind of like getting into comics like through like Batman and just like the inspiration that's had on him. And correct me if I'm wrong, Bash, but what was that piece? You did get a Somni piece, and was it one of those Battober ones?
Yeah, it was one of the last ones.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Got lucky, but it was one of the Robin ones because Robin's Dick Grayson, my favorite character. So I wanted to get the one with Robin, preferably instead of one with Batman's hand, isn't it? But it's mostly Robin. So yeah, which I was okay with because the Batman ones are crazy expensive because Batman's one of the most
Sure.
popular characters out there. So yeah, so I was glad, but the Doodle sale coming up soon. I'll
Yeah, I
try,
saw
but
that.
yeah, I'll try, but man, those never go well. Like those, just like for
They
me at
go
least.
quick, real quick.
Right, in 2 minutes, in 1 or 2 minutes, everything will be sold out. Everything in the store. I'm not even exaggerating. So, good luck to those of you who are going to try for this next Doodle sale. Somni's artwork is always incredible. I think at this time the pricing, for the most part, is like most of the things are just 125 US, like regardless of what it is. So it's like that's pretty cool. I always think these are like accessible, like for more, regular people, including us students. Like it's more accessible because it's like I can't really like afford the cover commissions, which I would love to do, and I think are fairly priced. I just personally can't afford it. But yeah, these doodles, like I'm gonna try my hardest. I really hope I get one. It'd be really cool. Good luck to everybody. Check it out. If you're not sure, just check out Chris Somney's newsletter. It's the best way to stay on top of the news with everything he's doing in terms of all of his books and his artwork sales and everything like that. So there's that. In terms of one, before we end off here, obviously this was a fantastic issue. Like you said, the RC Coda was a bit shorter this time, so nothing crazy, but I would still just go look through it. There's always some good moments and banter. But one thing I wanted to point out was Void Rivals recently launched, and I don't want to dive into any spoils for Void Rivals because I'm not sure. Just came out, and some people might have not have read it. But did you guys check it out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did check it out, and all I'll say is very intriguing, and check it out. It's fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely interesting. Without getting too much into it, it was an interesting read.
It's a cool premise, like it really
Yeah.
was, and yeah, no, I'm really interested to see where it goes. How about you, Bash?
All I'm gonna say is towards the end of Void Rivals that you see that it's like a new universe and they're showing you like 3 or 4 new titles, and
Yeah.
they're all showing you who the creative teams are and when they're coming out. All I'm gonna say is like they really got me there because a lot of those creators are some of my favorite
Oh my
creators. So,
god.
so it's just like
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of some of the things they're doing because I've just never been normally like exposed to it. But I might not. I might have to check it out now. So that's exciting. If you haven't read Void Rivals yet, I'd recommend going and checking it out. It's been all the rage, like all over the comic book news recently, because it's a big deal. I don't really want to spoil it, but yeah, check it out. There's second printings coming very soon. FOC for that I think just passed, and I bet there'll even be third printings. So yeah, exciting time if you're a Robert Kirkman fan. Firepower is coming back very soon. FOC is this Monday. So I think this episode will be out before then. So there's two covers for FOC, and we're getting a 44-page issue, 44-page size issue for $4.99 US. So only $1 more than usual, which I thought is very generous. I really like that. I don't know if you guys saw Ultimate Invasion was like 50 something pages and it was $9. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like that's a lot. But yeah, so that's awesome from the Firepower team and Skybound. Thank you so much. Can't wait to get Firepower back. It's been a while. It's been a long hiatus. And one big surprise from the Firepower team from Skybound. is that they have a cover B for this issue with work by Capullo, Glapian, and McKeag. So we got
Yeah.
three artists who did work on that, and it's a gorgeous cover. I'm
So
picking it
sweet.
up. Oh yeah,
So sweet. Yeah, no, it's always cool just seeing different artists take on these characters. But yeah, no, this one's especially badass. Just seeing him kind of crush the smoke coming out of his hand too. Like, yeah, no, it's so sweet.
very cool. And yeah, I think that's everything. And we just want to apologize as well to the Firepower team and to Chris Samnee. When we first made the podcast, we just put the artwork up because with the mic and everything edited into it, just because we wanted to have something up there. We just didn't realize at the time, contextually, that it wasn't something appropriate in terms of just doing that, not in terms of the artwork itself. But we since then made our own logo, obviously inspired by the Firepower logo for the podcast. With the text and everything, it's really cool. So yeah, just sorry for that, and it's different now. So moving forward,
Yeah, I just saw it now. No, it really stands out. It's got that black background on that. Yeah,
yeah.
it looks nice.
Yeah, so moving forward, that'll be our new logo until we do get an artist or Addy to finish illustrating ours. And
it's a work in progress. Coloring is hard.
Yeah, and then we'll have a proper logo. But yeah, apologies to Chris and everyone else. We really didn't mean anything negative, but yeah, it's changed now, and it's all cool. But yeah, thanks for being cool. By the way, Chris never said anything about it. We just realized this is not cool, but we should change it. Just in the time, never really thought about it. But yeah, so thanks to everyone. We also wanted to say we're going to do a giveaway. I think given that Firepower just hit 25 issues, that's a cause for celebration. We're going to give away a copy of the Greg Capullo variant, which I don't think many stores are going to be grabbing a lot of copies of. So the way we're going to do this giveaway is that once we hit 100 followers on Twitter or 100 subscribers on YouTube, we'll do the giveaway and we'll give away a copy of the book. No restrictions, no nothing. And everybody's entered. All you got to do is follow and subscribe, and you'll be automatically included. Anyways, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next time for Firepower 18, and the road to Firepower 24 continues. Hopefully, we'll get there before Firepower 25 comes out. We'll see you next time. Stay roasted.